Hello, my beautiful friends. My name is Beth Ritter-Guth, and I am going to walk you through how to create OER assets and have them published. There are a lot more steps than you think to do it the right way. So that's what we're going to do together. OER stands for Open Educational Resources, and that's when I create something as an instructor or as a community member, and I want to share it with other people. And I don't need to make money from it. I don't need to sell it, but I want to share it with people. And I have some guidelines for how I'd like people to use my work. But above all, I want to be able to share it and have other people use it. So OER Commons is a great place where you can publish your materials. So your very first step is you need to go and you need to make a free account with OER Commons. So you go here to oercommons.org. The link will be in the description, and you create yourself an account. Now you've created amazing things. In my previous video, I created some calendars for Lehigh Valley, but I'm actually going to use some materials that I created earlier today on terminology for intro to poetry. So I just want to show you what that looks like. So one of them, I used Claude and Grok. Those are the two winners. So this was how one of them laid out. And here's how the other laid out. So they were both pretty nice. Now I want to share them. I want other lit professors to be able to use them, to be able to copy the code and put it into their own courses. So I want to do that. So when they're finished, when you take the quiz, and I intentionally answered questions wrong to see how it would look, this is what they look like. And there's a way, where's the other one? There's a way for it to get sent to me as the instructor that was all based on the prompt that I wrote. So now I have my assets. I'm pretty happy with them. I vetted them. I made sure that the terminology matched what the choices that were given to the student. I thought Grok did a better job with images, and I thought that Claude did a better job with the descriptions of each term, so that I think that both of them have good and bad. So I'm going to include both of them in the OER Commons for others to use. So I'm over in, let me just pause here for one moment and clean up my screens. I'll be right back. So the first thing you want to do is you want to decide how you want to share your work. So those of us in the OER space, we want to share things with other people and use things that other people have made. And so there are ways that we share, and Creative Commons is an alternative to a formal copyright. A formal copyright means that I can't use your work more than fair use. So Creative Commons allows for people to share things, but you do have choices. So, and this will be a link in the description below. You can choose the kind of license you want. So if you don't know what you need, you click this no button, and you put in your information. And then when you put no, it'll ask you some questions. Do you want people to give you credit? That's called attribution. Do you want people to share it the same way that you've shared it? So they can use it, but they have to share it the way you've shared it. Will you allow the next person to use it commercially? And so there's all different choices that you make. So my work is almost always Creative Commons, share alike, so and attribution, but non-commercial, because if I'm not making money off of it, a textbook company shouldn't make money off of it either, because the point is for this work to be free. So Creative Commons is the bridge between public domain, which is completely free and available for anybody to use, and strict copyright laws, which prevent anybody from using the work beyond fair use. So first decide what kind of license that you want, because you're going to need to know that information later. And as you work with this process, you kind of get an idea of the kind of ways that you like to share. This is typically the license that I always use. So that is what Creative Commons is. Now you want to head over to a program called GitHub. So GitHub is free, and you want to make a free account, and you can see there's lots of choices in your public profile. I've had GitHub for many, many years, and you put your email address in. If you're using it for education, you do need an edu account linked to your profile. It doesn't have to be your primary address, but it should be linked there. And you can put your social accounts in there and any websites you have if you have a company. And I've connected my my ORCID ID. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's another way. Zenodo and ORCID are ways for you to share digital objects with other people. And so I have those connected here. So you want to have your GitHub account, and you'll see that I have, let me get in here. Is this my account? No. I want to make sure I save my stuff. Hold on. I'm going to update my profile. And I want to just, if you want to, if you want to have a successor, if there's anybody that you want, if you want to change your username or whatever, you just kind of go along the side here for any of these sort of, things that you might want. And GitHub can be really scary because it's a different way of looking at storing your things. But I find it's a great filing cabinet to keep everything that you want in one place. And then you can do different things with it, right? So I like GitHub, and I hope you do too. And let's get started looking at what we have here in GitHub. All right, so in your GitHub account up here on the three little lines, you're going to see the different repositories that I have. Now, this first one is an OER psych book that I worked with another faculty member on. It's actually her materials, but she didn't have a GitHub account. And there's some old code that I used when I used to program for Alexa. And AI Interactives is the place where we're going to be. So I created a repository that includes all of the different files that I want to include, that I want to share with people. But this is one place where I can host them, that they're all together and they're not just on my hard drive, or they're not just on my what am I trying to say? My disk drive, right? So this is a place where I can keep everything. So you can see that I've created 2 poetry games. I have information in here. The repository itself has a README file that tells you exactly how you can use the materials. It has the license on it, right? So everything is here in GitHub. And then my GitHub is connected to Zenodo. And Zenodo is what you need to create a digital object identifier, a DOI, for your work. So when you're reading a research paper, you'll see DOI in the citation on the Works Cited or Works Consulted or reference page. You'll see that, and you're like, well, what is that? So every digital asset should have its own unique identifier. And the reason is because any website can go away anytime. Many years ago, when I first started teaching and I first started my journey with OER, I used an amazing platform called Wikispaces. And I made all of my content, most of the literature I teach is in the public domain because I teach more classical literature. So all of it, I made all of my classwork so the students didn't have to buy a book. It was great. It was this awesome wiki, and they could use all this stuff, and I had everything there. And then one day Wikispaces decided to go away. Right? They decided to go away and get rid of the website, and nobody wanted to maintain it anymore. And all of this work that I had put into it, I didn't have a home for it. And at the time, I didn't know about GitHub, so I didn't get to move any of it over, right? And then all of that was lost. If I had had a DOI for the work, it would have at least, given a citation for the work that I created. The files are included here in Zenodo, so they're here, and people can get them no matter what happens to the website. So that's what a DOI does. Now you can see that I've uploaded both games. I didn't have a DOI, so I asked, I said I need one. When I publish this, I will be given one. I had to pick the kind of activity it is. So it's a lesson. It's Intro to Poetry Terminology Games. And my publication date, which is today, and I'm the creator or producer. And then I go through and I give it a little description. So I have an AI disclosure statement that I always put with my work so that people know that I created these games with AI. That's sort of the point of them. And then I put the prompt in, which I use Prompt Tester to enhance so that folks can have that in case they want to generate something different from the prompt. And then I have my license just copied below, but you can also add it formally here in this space below. And then there's, like, if you had somebody else help you, you can put keywords and subjects if it's in any other languages. You can put the publisher will be Zenodo. If you got a grant or anything for doing this work, you can put that. If there's any alternate identifier, if there's related related works that you've made, references, software, programming language. This is written in HTML. And, if you published it in a journal or you presented it at a conference, you can include all of that, and so it really, Zenodo gives you really great opportunities for sharing stuff. So, when you have your, you get to pick your community. So you're going to select a community and you can search in all communities. So I'm going to put English and see what comes up, or I'll put literature. Okay, so I'm going to select this, academic literature, and we'll see. We're going to submit it for review. I could also, I can remove that if I don't want it to be part of a community, and then I can save the draft. I can also preview it if I want to just check it out and see what it looks like. Let's take a look. Here's what it looks like. The file has the DOI number right there. You're gonna copy that. Just copy that. All right, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go back to edit, and I'm going to publish it. All right, so I can't add any new files. This is what I've made, and this is what I have. And now you're going to need this for the next step. So hold tight, and we'll go to OER Commons. All right, so now we're over here in OER Commons, and I'm going to add OER. You can see that I've signed in, so I'm going to add my OER. I'm going to create a resource. I can give it a title. So this is Intro to Poetry Interactive Games. And then I'm going to put an image in and a section name. And I'm just going to put here a description that tells everybody what I've created. And I'm just going to copy and paste that right from Zenodo. So I'll be right back, and I will do that and come back and show you what it looks like. All right, so I prettified this site so you can see what it looks like before I publish it. So this asset is called Intro to Poetry Interactive Games. I made sure that I said it's college poetry so that elementary school teachers aren't thinking this would be a tool for them. I've included the DOI, which came from my Zenodo site. I have included my ORCID ID. I have the link to Zenodo, and I have a link to my GitHub. And then I have my Creative Commons license that I'm using. And then I have a description that I just copied right from Zenodo. It's the same description I had there. And there we have it. Right? But now I have to add the resources. So I'm going to add in my two resources. So my first one is, I'm going to go to my desktop where I have them saved. So we have Poetry Game A, which is the first one. And this is Intro to Poetry Terminology. And this is A. I'm going to wait for it to cook for a hot minute. It's going to save. So the final step is to put your resources, if they're HTML files, you have to put them in a folder and then zip that up on your desktop, like I've done here. And then you want to compress them. And the compressed file is what you have to upload into Creative Commons. And then when you're ready, you can preview the record. This is the instructor view, what the instructor will see. There's the download. There's the description. That looks good to me. So I am going to go back. I want to save. I don't want to create a new folder. I want to go back to my page here. And then you just click Next. And then you go through the information about the overview. So I'm going to just copy again what I had here. I'm going to put it here. And then I'm picking my my license, subjects, literature. This is for community college or lower division, but I'm also going to put upper division. These are activities. It's in English. I don't have alignments, media formats, educational use, primary user. Oops, sorry about that. Accessibility, keywords. By checking this box, I acknowledge. You can fill all these things out if you'd like to. And then I'm going to click Publish. And then somebody at OER will check it out and make sure that it is good to go. And then they will get back to me. And that's how you publish to OER. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, OER has a great FAQ section, and of course you are free to email me as well and ask questions. Be well, take care, bye-bye.